Good afternoon to all our participants. I hope that we are all healthy and free from the COVID-19 virus. I know that we are going through very difficult times right now, but I hope that this topic that I have prepared will help you face the challenges brought by COVID-19 and be able to prepare yourself to what people call nowadays as the new normal. So, my topic is on appreciative resilience in times of crisis. I'm sure that a lot of you who are listening right now have heard about AI or appreciative inquiry, and perhaps some of you have already used AI in your research, perhaps, or in your as one of your teaching styles or teaching strategies. But for the sake of those who have never heard about appreciative inquiry, I'm going to give a very, very short background or introduction about it before I dwell into my topic, which is appreciative resilience. So for this lecture, I prepared three learning outcomes. The first is for you, all of you are listening right now, to be able to examine the relevance of appreciative inquiry and appreciative resilience in times of crisis, such as this one, the COVID-19. And secondly, to be able to integrate the elements of appreciative resilience in your own experience during this crisis. And lastly, and I think this is one of the most important thing that you should be able to do after this lecture is for you to be able to write or document your own stories of despair, forgiveness, and hope during the COVID-19 pandemic. So here's my outline. Now I'm going to give a short introduction or background about AI, and then I'll be discussing about appreciative resilience and the elements of appreciative resilience, including its application to the current pandemic that we are experiencing, COVID-19, and we shall end with a short summary and, of course, short takeaways. So what then is appreciative inquiry? Isn't it that when we appreciate something or someone, no, we value that something or someone, right? No, so we put or we associate some kind of a price into it. We esteem that thing or that person. We revere, we honor. What else? We admire that person, perhaps, or that something, no, that we appreciate. So when we appreciate it means that it's important, right? We value, we prize, we esteem, we honor that something or that someone because that is important. Okay? And what about inquiry or asking? No? Inquiry, on the other hand, is synonymous with discovering what is new or perhaps what is better. No, it is the search for something that is meaningful, something that is inspiring. It's an exploration of what possibly might happen, okay, or might be. And it is the study or the continuous process of knowing. Okay. So that's how we define appreciate and inquiry. Now, what about appreciative inquiry? So, AI, therefore, is the exploration of what gives life. Now, something that's life-giving, something that energizes, something that motivates, something that inspires people, and the things around us, everything around us. Okay? So, in our present context, AI is finding what is giving life, no, despite the pandemic, something that inspires us despite the anxiety, the sadness that we are, feeling right now, something that motivates us to work at home, no, or to study even though it's online, or to connect with people despite, poor connections perhaps, no, through online. And despite not being able to go out, despite not being able to meet friends and family members face to face. So that is AI in the context of this COVID-19 pandemic that we are going through. So searching for what gives life, what motivates and inspires is something that is what deliberate, it's something intentional. No? And we do it deliberately and intentionally by inquiring what can be improved, what can be changed for the better, keeping in mind that we appreciate, that what we appreciate appreciates. Do you get it? No? Keeping in mind that what we appreciate appreciates. Meaning that what we consider beautiful is beautiful. and what we consider happiness is really happiness. So AI builds on what is working, no? And not on the problems. No? It builds on what is working well, no? It focuses on the solutions, not on the problems. So during this pandemic, what do we have that made us survive? Imagine for almost 3 months now. We've been on ECQ for almost 3 months, but and yet we survived, no? So what is there? What is something, no, during this situation that keeps us alive? To what keeps us motivated to get up in the morning and then, go on with our day-to-day activities despite the fact that we cannot go out, no? Now, come to think of it, madami, di ba? Imagine, paano tayo nag-survive, no? That's really something, no? Well, of course, this AI or appreciative inquiry is advocated by David Cooper Ryder, no, in the 80s. No? Now, he believes that in every piece of art, there is beauty. I'm sure you also agree with that, right? In every piece of art, even though how abstract would it be, no, could that piece of art be, there is always beauty in it. So it goes with saying that behind this pandemic, no, are the so many wonderful experiences, realizations, and discoveries about ourselves, about our families, about our relationships, about our environment, everything, no? There is really something good happening despite this pandemic. Okay. Now, the search for what gives life, no, what inspires, what energizes, depends so much on the way we ask questions. Now, let me invite you to think about these questions, no, that we often ask during this pandemic. Do the questions encourage the other person to open up? No? Or do these questions invite hostility? Or do the questions lead to a free expression of feelings? No, are we encouraging them to express how they feel? No, or what's the intent of asking? No, why do we ask a particular question? For example, is it to humiliate? No, or is it to put the person in a bad light? And do the questions that we ask encourage new ideas? So these are, things that we can perhaps reflect upon. Anong klaseng tanong ang mga tanong natin, no? Kasi 'di ba naniniwala tayo na syempre pag nagtanong ka ng negative, anong makukuha mong sagot? Eh di negative, no? Kapag nagtanong ka ng something positive, syempre ang makukuha mong sagot is also something positive. No? So parang ganun 'yon, no? So let's try to ask more positive questions, no? In appreciative inquiry. Now, these are examples of common questions that we perhaps read on social media accounts, no? And perhaps hear from people, from our family members, perhaps, no? Let's see if some of you can relate to this, no? Have you ever asked these questions? No? I don't get it. Why are people panic buying? Hindi ko maintindihan bakit ba nagpa-panic buying ang mga tao, no? O kaya, how will I manage work from home? My internet is poor, no? O kaya, how will I gather my data for my thesis, no? Especially for those who are in the thesis writing stage, no? I cannot do FGDs. But come to think of it, there are other alternatives, right? If I may share, no, in my college, in the National Teacher Training Center for the Health Professions, medyo kinonsider na rin ang Zoom FGD as a research methodology. So maybe, you can explore other possible tools or methodologies, no? Another question is, what will I do with my time at home? I have nothing else to do, no? Talaga, no? Buti ka pa, nothing else to do, no? Parang ganon, no? So how could we ask these questions in a more appreciative manner, no? So these are some examples, no, of appreciative inquiry questions that we can ask, no? For example, how can we help stop the spread of COVID-19? Di ba, sabi natin kasi focus on solutions rather than on the problems, no? What else? How can we keep physical distancing but stay connected. Sabi nga nila hindi dapat daw social distancing. Dapat physical distancing lang pero we are socially connected, no? Because we are wired, no? What else? What can I do to make myself productive during the ECQ? 'Di ba? Instead of saying I have enough, I have plenty of time, I don't know what to do. 'Di ba? Di mo isipin na how can I be more productive during the ECQ? No? Or what alternative data gathering method can I use for my research? No? Kung FGD ka, baka meron kang ma-discover na ibang methodology, o 'di ba? So, you try to focus on the solutions, not on the problems. So, in appreciative inquiry, consider asking, what do I want more of, not less of? No? What do I want to start and not to stop? What do I want to create and not to remove? What do I want to support and not to prevent? And what do I want to reinforce, not to weaken? Yan. So again, no, what do I want more of? To start, to create, to support, and to reinforce. So consider this, no, when you ask questions. So in other words, we must ask questions that appreciate, or questions that appreciate and not questions that depreciate. Okay. Now, consider the following. I'm sure you have heard this posted on social media or again, mga naririnig nyo sa mga kasama nyo sa bahay o sa mga kapitbahay ninyo, no? For example, no? Oh, these are difficult times, no? Can't we not just say, oh, these are opportune times? No, opportune times, bakit? Ang dami mo palang pwedeng gawin na hindi mo nagawa noon. And these are all opportunities, right? What else? Oh, I'm stuck at home. So instead of saying I'm stuck at home, why can't you just say I'm safe at home? Right? Okay. Another example, maintain social distancing. Yun yung example na binigay ko kanina. Why can't we say maintain physical distancing, but we can still be socially connected? Right? Okay. So these are examples. Now, what do you want to appreciate or grow at this time of the ECQ? What do you want to develop, no, during this time of the ECQ? Are these your skills and talents? No, if you have so much time this period of the pandemic or the COVID-19, perhaps you can do some, things that you wanted to do before, but you were not given the luxury of time. Like in my case, for example, when I was young, now I wanted to play the ukulele and now I have the opportunity to do it. No, I do a lot of what? Cleaning the house, I cook more often this time compared to before, no? So these things, what else would you like to appreciate or to grow more in terms of your relationships? Perhaps it's time to be connected to people that we have not been talking to or we have not been connecting with for the longest time. What else? Maybe this time you want to grow more of your prayer time, no? You wanted to have more quiet time for reflection. So, isipin ninyo, what do you want to grow? What do you want to appreciate, no, at this time of the ECQ? Now, this is Fred Rogers. Now, Fred Rogers is an American television personality. He's also a musician, a puppeteer, no, and a minister. No, he says that when I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, "Look at the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." You see, I think all of us can relate to this. No matter how hard situations are, there will always be something good, no, that will come out of it. In the Philippines alone, imagine we have gone through a lot of typhoons, no, volcanic eruption, ano pa, flood, and now COVID, no. But we realize that not all people are selfish after all, di ba? There are still generous people around, there are still good people around, no, who are ready to help others. May mga generous pa rin naman pala, no? So, parang sinasabi lang na, oo nga, in every situation, how bad that situation may be, no, there will always be something good that will come out of it. Now, let's actively inquire together. No? And at this point, I would like to invite all of you who are watching right now to take a photo of the slide, no? Because I want you later on to spend more time, no, to answer these questions. In fact, I encourage you to write, your answers in your journal if you're doing a journal, if you are doing a journal or writing a journal. And perhaps I also encourage you to send me your answers because we might be able to come up with a book, no, documenting all our COVID-19 AI experiences. Who knows, no? So the first question that I'd like you to think about is, what was the best thing that ever happened to you during the ECQ? No? What was the best thing that ever happened to you? Second, how have you used your strength or your strengths to help yourself and others during the COVID times? Paano mo natulungan yung sarili mo? Kaya 3 buwan ka nang di lumalabas ng bahay, buhay ka pa. No? And the third is, what is that one small action you can take today to help make tomorrow better for you and others? Like after this COVID-19 pandemic, when will it end? Hindi natin alam. But what do you think, no, you can do or contribute to make yourself better or your family better, your community better, your school better, and so forth and so on, no? So I'd like you again, this is your homework, no? I'd like you to spend more time after this, no, lecture to answer, no, these questions. Now, why am I asking you to write and document your experiences? Because in appreciative inquiry, meron ding tinatawag na appreciative storytelling. Storytelling is a tool of AI. No? And according to Peterson, this encourages you or the participants to take positive perspective by rediscovering and reorganizing what is going well rather than focusing on problems. No? So the reason why I ask you to answer those 3 questions is I would like you to discover what were, no, the best things, no, that happened during this time of the pandemic. Okay, now finally, no, I've given you a brief background of what AI is. So we are now ready to explore what is appreciative resiliency or resilience. No? So Joan MacArthur Blair and Jeannie Cockle are the authors of the book Building Resilience with Appreciative Inquiry, a leadership journey through hope, despair, and forgiveness. This gives us clear explanation of what appreciative resilience is. Now, look at the picture, no, of the bamboo. I think this is one very concrete image of what resilience is. No? So, the bamboo is a perfect imagery of resilience. Imagine, di ba, during a storm, no, pag may bagyo, we see the bamboos falling or being uprooted. But after a while, no, they stand firm, they remain to be standing firm, and gradually they begin to root themselves again. No? So as I mentioned earlier, we Filipinos are very resilient people. No, after typhoons A to Z, then back to A to Z in 1 year, after the volcanic eruption, after the flood, no, after the earthquakes, then we still manage to get up and start anew. So, resilience, therefore, is the ability to sustain or persevere in the most complex situations and life experiences. AR, or appreciative resilience, assists people in developing their own understanding and personal call to resilience by using AI principles and practices. So, appreciative resilience is that which sustains us. Sustains meaning it's that which supports us, which endures us or nurtures us, no? As hope blooms or as hope flourishes or thrives, as despair visits or as despair lingers or persists, or as forgiveness opens our hearts or softens our hearts. I repeat, appreciative resilience is that which sustains us as hope blooms, as despair visits, and as forgiveness opens our hearts. Now, we have here the appreciative resilience model. No? This model, developed by Blair and Cockle in their book, no, helps people build resilience by using appreciative inquiry to reflect on and explore the states of hope, despair, and forgiveness. Now, looking at this diagram, no, the outer ring, no, includes AI principles and processes. And the inner core is the interplay of the three elements of hope, despair, and forgiveness. No? So these three states or elements are interlocked. They ebb and flow through a person's experience. And at times, the circle of hope will almost eclipse the circles of despair and forgiveness. No? And at other times, the circles of despair and forgiveness will be the predominant elements at play in one's life. The model and its related exercises are designed to help individuals. And when I say individuals, no, maybe you're a leader or a parent or a teacher, whatever, no, it guides us people, no, to reflect and build on our own resilience. Okay. So as I earlier mentioned, there are three elements, no, of appreciative resilience. These are despair, forgiveness, and hope. So let me begin with despair. What is despair? Ano ba yung despair? No? So despair is characterized as the dark night of the soul. No? It's an experience where one cannot see a clear path forward. It is where outcomes seem to be invisible and a state where a lot of doubts linger in our minds. No? Ito yung karanasan na sinasabi natin na ano ba yan? Parang pinagsakloban ng langit at lupa. Ano pa? Para kang binuhusan ng mainit o malamig na tubig. Ano pa ba yon? Yung tipong wala kang makitang liwanag sa dilim. Yung tipong mga tanong na bakit ako? Hindi mo maintindihan, no? Anong nagawa ko? No? Or mga tipong may bukas pa ba? No? Kailan sisikat ang araw? Ganong drama, no? Now, the question is, have you ever gone through or is going through this stage during this COVID-19 pandemic? Have you ever felt anxious, depressed, hopeless, afraid, and uncertain during this lockdown or during this TCQ? No? Again, I would like you to document that. No, I would like you to write that experience. Now, if you did, worry not. You're not alone. All of us, perhaps even the strongest people on earth, I'm sure, no, have felt or have experienced despair. So don't feel bad, no, don't feel guilty, don't say you're weak, because all of these feelings are valid. It is a normal feeling at this point in time, no. I remember yesterday I was I attended a webinar, in our university in UP Manila, and one of the speakers said it's okay not to be okay. So it's okay, don't worry. Now, if you have had your experiences of despair, during this ECQ, again, as I said, I want you to document them, write them, and then share them with me later, But let me share with you my experience of despair, during this pandemic. Well, for some of you who are listening right now, might have heard of the news, that my daughter, my second daughter, Kelly, was COVID positive. No, she is now in Germany taking her master's. No. Now, the feeling of despair, happened when I think was last March 8th. No, it was a Sunday. We were preparing for lunch, and we were planning. In fact, we were preparing to join my sister's family, for that lunch on a Sunday. And then suddenly, my eldest daughter received a message from a colleague, who unfortunately had an exposure with a relative who is a COVID positive. So immediately, our happy lunch was aborted. So we decided to quarantine ourselves. So I and my three children stayed home. We had lunch together. But at that time, no, I felt like, my God, I'm so scared. I don't know what's going to happen, no. But anyway, no, everything was quite normal. But March 14, my daughter sent me a message, no, and she said that she had a sore throat. No, Kelly, no, had a sore throat. And so I thought maybe she was just tired because she came from a study tour, no, in Brussels. So I said, okay, take a good rest. Maybe you were just, tired. However, according to her, no, from the sore throat, that evening, no, she already had a high fever. She had high fever, and so the next morning, no, that was March 16, she brought herself to the clinic for COVID-19 testing. And she was told that she had to wait for 5 days or about a week to be able to get the result. And then comes March 19. It was in the afternoon. I received a message from her telling me that, Mama, I'm COVID positive. No, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na yung feeling na para kang nanlalamig, na nasi-CR, na hindi mo maintindihan. That was exactly my feeling, no? I was so helpless. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to fly to Germany so that I could be able to take care of her. She was alone. Of course, she was not hospitalized, but she was asked to do self-quarantine and she was alone in her apartment. So sabi ko, hala, ano nang mangyayari? No? So, yon, nung nalaman namin na positive siya, nagpanic ako, no? I had mixed emotions. Sabi ko nga, I was helpless, gusto ko nang lumipad, natatakot akong matulog. I was really scared to sleep because I was afraid that baka mamaya makatulog ako at bigla siyang tumawag na nahihirapan na pala siyang huminga because she already was experiencing difficulty in breathing, no? Tapos sa umaga at tas ang lagi kong bilin bago matulog ay, "Anak, tumawag ka lang kung meron kang nararamdaman." No? And then early in the morning, I would wake up very early, nagkakape ako, at the same time nagdadasal at inaabangan ko ang cellphone kong tumunog dahil lagi kong hinihintay first hour na paggising niya na mag-text siya na, "Mama, okay ako." No? And talagang yung rock bottom ng aking despair was, 'di ba tayo yung advance mag-isip, no? Nag-advance thinking na ako, na sabi ko, "Hala, paano kung may mangyaring masama sa kanya? What if she'll not be able to survive this virus? So, ika-cremate na siya do'n, paano kaya 'yun?" Yung gano'n. So, I even asked my niece, sabi ko, "Anak," na nasa Norway actually yung pamangkin ko, sabi ko, "Anak, 'pag gano'n ba ang mga nasa abroad, kini-cremate, inuuwi ba yung ashes?" No, yung gano'n, no, sabi ng pamangkin ko, "Opo naman tita," no, gano'n. Anyway, there were times na tulala lang ako, no, na hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko, no. So, how did I cope, no, during those period, no, o during that period of despair, no? Siyempre nagdasal ako, naglinis ako ng bahay para lang alam mo yon, I kept myself busy, nanahi ako nakagawa ako ng cushion ng throw pillows. I listen to music. Now, these are coping mechanisms that we do, no, when we are in this period of despair or anxiety. I listen to music. I listen to my favorite singer, no. Napagod si Martin Rivera sa akin, no. That was also the time, my very first time to use Netflix. Natapos ko yung Crash Landing on You, no. Alam, to kill time lang, no. I got connected with my friends, even with my high school friends. I did a lot of breathing exercises, no, and I avoided negative news online, no. So this was my experience during this experience of despair, no, during this COVID-19. So now, let me move on to the second element of appreciative resilience, which is forgiveness. As I mentioned, now going through despair in times of crisis is understandable. No? But we should be reminded that being in that state should not be permanent because, you see, we should try our very best or we should choose to elevate despair into a higher level, which is the level of forgiveness. Okay? Forgiveness in this case is that animating energy that makes forward movement possible. And we should remember that forgiveness is a choice. Yeah, it's a choice, it's a decision that we make to what? To give up resentment, to give up anger, at the same time fear, and be able to move forward or to step forward. No? It is that stage wherein we try to accept the things that are beyond our control. No? Because refusal to accept that there are things beyond our control will keep us in that level of despair. So during this time of the COVID-19 pandemic, no? What are the things that are beyond our control? Ano yung mga bagay na wala tayong control? Like for example, yung spread ng virus, yung mga rules and regulations na binibigay sa atin ng mga government officials, no? Maraming bagay, no? These are beyond our control and therefore we should accept na hindi natin kayang gawan ng mga paraan yan, no? So, we should be able to forgive. No, we have to decide to let go of resentment, anger, and so that we can move forward. Now, is there something that we need to forgive during this COVID-19 pandemic? No? As I said, do we need to accept the things no, that we do not have a control of, like the spread of the virus? Should we continue complaining about our leaders? Hirap nun, no? Wala tayong magagawa doon. Do we keep on blaming yung mga taong mga ayaw magmask, yung mga taong pasaway, no? Patuloy ba nating papatulan yung mga trolls, no? Mga naririnig natin kung ano-anong sinasabi. Okay? So again, as I said, please take note, no? Isulat ninyo lahat ng mga karanasan na to. Now again, in continuation to my sharing a while ago, no, from despair to forgiveness, how did I forgive and what was there to forgive, no? Now, nung una, I was blaming my daughter, no? Kasi, the schools that they were supposed to visit and institutions they were supposed to visit in Brussels already closed. Kumbaga, hindi na sila inallow kasi nga may COVID na. So what she did was, she decided to go back to Berlin by herself ahead of her classmates. So at first sabi ko, anak, wag na lang, hintayin mo na lang sila. Sabi niya, marami daw siyang gagawin, yung thesis pa daw niya, etc., etc. So I said, sige, bahala ka, no? So, I really started to blame her, but of course, I did not tell her. No, akin-akin lang yon, yung tipong kung di sana siya nauna, siguro na-spare siya, yung mga tipong ganon. What else? I blame the organizers of the study tour. No? Kasi sabi ko, right from the very start, they knew that there was a pandemic. Why? Why did they pursue with their plan to have the study tour? Diba? Dapat doon pa lang, inana nila, hindi na sila tumuloy. But still, no, they went ahead. So, nandun yung tipong, gusto ko na silang sulatan by email, bakit ganito, bakit ganyan. So, you know what, yung blaming, no, bakit si Kelly, ang bata pa niya, of all people, no, bakit siya pa, no. But you see, finally, I came to a realization na wala naman ako magagawa. It's out of my control. Andyan na yan eh, no. So, I decided to let go of the resentment, of the anger, hindi na ako nag-blame, no? And the height of this forgiveness came when it was during the Holy Weeks, Holy Week, particularly on that Good Friday. I tried to organize some kind of a prayer, with my 3 children who are with me. And then, so we prayed together, and then we shared the readings. And then, isang tanong lang na tinanong ko sa kanila. One of the questions that I asked earlier in my presentation, sabi ko, what's the best thing that ever happened to you during the ECQ? What was your best realization during this ECQ? And then, ang gaganda ng mga sagot nila. Sabi nila, they realize that health is important, that life is important. No, what else? They realize that Even though as brothers and sisters, they are very close with one another, pero hindi pa pala. There are a lot of things to be discovered, no? What else? They realize that the time we are spending now is very precious because for 12 years I was away when I was in South Korea. So, kumbaga, ang daming panahon na nawala, no? So, ngayon nabawi. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na this time of the pandemic is an opportunity to discover the best of what is. Okay? So that is my experience of forgiveness, no, during this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the last or the third element of appreciative resiliency is hope, no? So after despair, after forgiveness comes hope. Hope is when you believe that the future will open possibilities, no? It's the time when you finally realize what is, no? Meaning, ano bang meron ka? No? What are your blessings, no? Uh, how how are you able to survive, no? This pandemic, for example, no? Hope means the time when you begin to see a ray of light, no? Yung 'di ba kanina sabi natin despair is wala kang makitang liwanag. Ito yung hope na ayan na, may nakikita ka ng ray of sunshine, no? Meron ka ng konting pag-asa, no? And that's also the time when you imagine and you feel excited about what good thing that may or that will happen. What learnings that you will get out of the experience, no? What new discoveries will you have, no, about yourself, about other people, your family and all, no? And even about the situation that will make you a better person. So ito yung hope is looking at what is. What is there that's keeping you survive the pandemic? And what might be? Ano yung possibilities? Ano yung opportunities na pwedeng mangyari, no? After this COVID-19 pandemic. So ito yung hope. Okay? Now, what are our experiences of hope during the COVID-19? No, kayo ba, may mga nakikita na ba kayong light at the end of the tunnel? No? Na-imagine nyo na ba yung sarili ninyo as the new you, no? After the pandemic? Ano yung new learnings? Ano yung new opportunities, new passion perhaps that you have discovered? Yun yung hope, no? So, I'm sure you have a lot of those experiences, no? So, try to imagine now, no? Maging tayo, imaginative of what's going to happen, no, in the future. Have you imagined that the world will be better, no? More loving, more peaceful, more collaborative, more cooperative, and more conscientious about others after this pandemic? Kita nyo naman kung paano magtulungan ng mga tao ngayon, no? 'Di ba? Yung ating earth nakahinga, walang pollution, nabawasan ng pollution, nabawasan ng traffic, no? So, may bagong mangyayari and we should, feel excited about that. Personally, do you imagine yourself becoming stronger in facing crisis after this, no? Do you imagine yourself becoming more prayerful, more reflective, perhaps a better parent, a better brother, a better sister, a better teacher? What else? A better administrator, no? What were your sources of hope during this pandemic? Was it your family? No? Is it your career, your health? Ano yun? No? So to conclude my story, how did I experience hope? Eto na. So when finally I have decided to let go of my anger and my resentment, I began to feel excited about what I have, meaning my blessings, no? That kept me through, no, during those desperate moments, no, and those moments of unforgiveness, no. I tried to identify my sources of hope. And what are these? Number one, Kelly's positivity, my daughter's positivity. Alam niyo po, hindi ko siya nakitang umiyak, hindi ko siya nakitang mag-complain. Lagi niya sinasabi, okay lang ako, wag kang mag-worry. So, and I told myself, kung siya nga, cool lang, ako pa. No? Sabi nga nung anak ko one night na, sabi ko, no, paano yung kapatid mo? Sabi niya, kaya niya yon. No? So that was a ray of hope for me. What else? Of course, my family. So kahit na naka-quarantine kami, my sisters are there, my nieces and nephews are there, no? Lagi kaming online, we do Zoom meetings, we do Zoom singing, my children do online games, no? Mga ganyan, no? Kahoot and all, no? And of course, my friends. I had a lot of friends, no? Been praying for me, even my colleagues in my office. Nagkaroon ako ng maraming ka-Zoom prayer meeting, no? Messenger prayer groups, no? Dami. And of course, my source of hope also was her support while she was in Berlin, no? Na talagang yun, doon mo makikita na helpers are around, you know. The Filipino community was there. I got to talk with the ambassador almost every day to know her progress. And one good thing is there were a lot of, how do you call this, like angels, no? Who helped her. Yung iba, hindi niya kakilala, bigla na lang magme-message sa kanya sa Twitter, no, or sa Messenger, sasabihin magdadala sila ng food, hindi niya kakilala, basta na lang, pagbukas niya ng pinto, may pagkain na, these are the things, no, that gave me hope and courage during that time, no? And of course, my faith. So I began to feel excited about what can possibly happen, no? After the experience. No, bigla akong nag-imagine na, hala, yung anak ko, pag gumaling siya, ano kayo mangyayari? She'll be able to inspire a lot of people, no? So I started getting excited about her graduation, which is this coming October, no? But I'm not so sure whether it's going to be face-to-face or online, no? And how others will be inspired by her story. And true enough, no? After her recovery, a lot of people have been, TV stations, mga bloggers and all, no, and even Rappler who interviewed her. And there are a lot of people telling her na, and of course me, no, they were inspired by her story, by her courage, and her positivity. Okay? So ito yung tatlong elements, no? Again, despair, forgiveness, and hope. No? So again, I repeat, medyo makulit ako. I hope you'll be able to document, no, these experiences of yours of appreciative resilience during the COVID. And so, in summary, I would like to leave you with the following points to think about and to remember. Number one, AI is being able to see the best of what is, that which gives life, and that what we appreciates. No? It's asking questions that focuses on what we want more of, to start off, to create, and to reinforce. Appreciative resilience, on the other hand, is the practice of the AI principles. No? It is that which sustains us as hope blooms, as despair visits, and as forgiveness opens our hearts. And finally, our resilience during this time of crisis is built and strengthened through the interlocking and interplay of despair, forgiveness, and hope, or sometimes hope, despair, and forgiveness, or in some instances, forgiveness, hope, and despair. So, these three elements of appreciative resilience actually can be used not only during this time of the COVID pandemic, but in any crisis that you might be encountering in the future. Okay? So, for your takeaways, please feel free to message me or email me. I'd love to hear from all of you who listen to my lecture. So before we end, I would like to invite you to do this self-compassion break. Now, I borrowed this from a very good friend, Monique. We used this during our online retreat with Calarwega, Philippines. So I'd like to invite you to put your hand over your heart. Take a deep breath. Relax. Giving anxieties, uncertainties, despair, and unforgiveness more space to move through you. And repeat these phrases after me. Okay? May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I accept this moment exactly as it is. May I accept myself exactly as I am in this moment. And may I give myself all the compassion I need. Okay? Perhaps you can also take a screenshot of this, because every time or any time that you feel, anxious, you feel depressed, no, you feel sad, you feel lonely, you feel down, no, you can do this self-compassion break by yourself. Okay? So with that, thank you very much for listening. And again, I will be waiting for your learnings, insights, and your stories. Okay? So, hugs everyone. Saranghe!